CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Oh, good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. It has been a deadly day on northern roads. We begin tonight on Manitoulin Island, where one person has died following a fatal crash in Billings Township. The three-vehicle crash happening around 5:30 involving two passenger vehicles and a commercial truck on Highway 540 near the Bend and Concession 8. One person died at the scene. No other injuries have been reported. Highway 540 remains closed between Lakeshore Road and Highway 551 and is expected to remain closed for several hours. And we are just getting word of another fatal crash, this one in Kearns Township. Police were called to a two-vehicle crash around 12:15 in the afternoon at the intersection of Milberta and McCool Roads. One driver was rushed to hospital with serious injuries, where they later died. A North Bay man received a life sentence today for killing a 60-year-old man. CTV's Eric Tashner was at the courthouse for the sentencing, and we want to warn you, some of the details in this story are disturbing.
60-year-old Bradley Armstrong loved to play the guitar. His close friend, Gordon Manley Woods, clutches his ashes tightly.
But I still don't want to lay him to rest because I miss him dearly.
Carter Parippa admitted to killing Armstrong in his Lakeshore Drive home in the evening of March 20th, 2021, when he was 21, and he used a machete to cut up the body. Parippa's rendition of the scene described him blacking out, waking up to find the dead body on the floor, and he followed guidance from TV shows to dispose of it. Parippa was convicted of second-degree murder and indignity to a human body. Justice Andrew Goodman handed down a life sentence with no chance of parole for 10 years. He said, "An act of dismemberment is the most horrific, gruesome act of violence in my 15 years as a judge." When deciding on parole eligibility, Justice Goodman took into account Parippa's plea, which spared the victim's close family from seeing crime scene photos during a trial.
Why did you do that to such an innocent person that would have given you anything you wanted in life?
Goodman read out sections of a report from Parippa's psychiatrist. It detailed Parippa's battles with PTSD, substance abuse, and anxiety, and that drugs may have impacted his decision that tragic night. However, the doctor said Parippa does not suffer from schizophrenia or psychosis.
Substance use, misuse, and abuse issues dovetail with the criminal justice system. If we focused on addressing those issues, we would have to focus a bit less on what comes through the criminal courts.
Judge Goodman is recommending Parippa serve his time at the maximum security Millhaven institution near Kingston.
I'm hoping that His Honour's recommendation has a lot of weight with the powers that be at corrections.
Meanwhile, the victim's close friends don't ever want to forget him.
It's hard when you lose a member to a murder and dismemberment, and it's brutal.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
10 people have been arrested in Timmins following a bizarre scene on Jubilee Avenue Wednesday night. A man reported to police that morning that he had been confined and assaulted. This was the scene last night on Jubilee at McLean Drive, where police executed the search warrant. Police searched the area, finding a gun and nearly $150,000 in various illegal drugs. Among the 10 arrested was a 14-year-old from Hamilton, 2 men from North York, and 1 person from Attawapiskat. The rest all from Timmins. Almost 24 people have been arrested in Sudbury in what police are calling an enforcement initiative. Officers seized drugs and $150,000 in stolen property from 2 apartment buildings on Paris Street between October 27th and November 7th. Police say they confiscated cocaine, oxycodone pills, along with $15,000 in cash. 21 people are facing 28 criminal and drug offenses and under the Highway Traffic Act. 2 people from North Bay are facing drug trafficking charges in Chapleau. A man and a woman were arrested yesterday after Anishinaabe police executed a search warrant at a home in Chapleau. Police say the warrant was part of an ongoing drug trafficking investigation in both Chapleau and the nearby Brunswick House and Chapleau Cree First Nations. Police say they seized an undisclosed amount of cocaine and codeine. Multiple crews were called to a blaze at a home in Sudbury this morning. Crews responding to a house fire on Howie Drive in Somerset Street at 6:30 a.m. Greater Sudbury Fire Services says there were no injuries as the home is unoccupied and under construction. The cause of the fire still under investigation, but it's not believed to be suspicious at this time. The fate of the Dean Lake Bridge in Huron Shores has been decided. Council has voted to demolish it. The bridge, built in the early 19th century, had been closed due to safety concerns. Rehabilitation costs for the bridge were expected to be $8 million, with a new single-lane bridge at $24 million. Along with the decision to demolish the bridge came the move to divert funds towards strengthening the only road into the area. Upwards of 200 property owners in the vicinity of Dean Lake will now have one way in and out, including for emergency services. A group called the Community Voices Committee has been working for months to protect the bridge and were frustrated by the outcome.
We feel isolated, and we feel unheard, and we feel unsafe. And I want to say, what does that mean? Reducing all of that to a line on a spreadsheet, right? Coming out basically at the losing end of a financial equation. When you read the volume of what we've written and really listen to our concerns and hear them as real, that is insulting.
Johnson says the group does not feel this matter is over and is in the process of finding new strategies to save the Dean Lake Bridge. Well, the Prime Minister named Canada Nickel's Crawford Nickel project north of Timmins as one of its nation-building projects today. As CTV's Lydia Chubak reports, the designation is aimed at getting the nickel mine up and running as fast as possible.
Canada Nickel's Crawford Nickel project, located about 40 kilometers north of Timmins, is on the brink of becoming the largest nickel sulfide mine in the Western world. Today, the federal government named it a nation-building project.
I can tell you that when, for example, China put export restrictions on a number of critical minerals, many major manufacturers were close to shutting down their operations. That's not good for Canada. That's not good for our allies. The reality is nickel is one of those commodities that are being manipulated today. Crawford is a step to debottlenecking or reducing that stranglehold on critical minerals.
The label puts the project in the fast lane to getting built quicker.
This clear sign from the federal government that this is a project they want to see go forward makes those discussions that we're having with partners in Japan, Korea, and other G7 countries move that much quickly.
Hodgson says the federal government is putting up approximately $6.8 million, and the investment will help the company attract the capital it needs.
What we want to do is enable things so that the private sector funds it. And by it doing that, the next mine that comes along, people will say, hey, Crawford did it. We can do it too. That's the goal.
Selby says as a priority project, he's hoping that will also help Canada Nickel access future funding envelopes and permitting quicker as well. The company also has a first-of-its-kind Indigenous ownership deal with Taquatagamu Nation, which the company says is the largest ever First Nation investment in a critical minerals project. It also has partnerships with several other First Nation organizations.
That's something that doesn't happen overnight, but over 6 years we've built the relationships, we've created the opportunities, and very much looking forward to working together with them to make the project a reality.
Selby hopes with today's designation he can welcome everyone who was here today back for a grand opening next year at its property on Highway 655. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
The Ontario Mining Association was pleased by today's announcement, saying Canada Nickel's Crawford project will lead the way for other mining investments in the province.
I think if we see it for projects like Canada Nickel's project, we're going to start seeing it for others. And it's really important to be able to see that progress, to see projects in the pipeline like the Crawford project come to fruition and get this kind of support. I'm confident that both levels of government, they're really trying to take a whole of government approach to this, right? All their departments are getting together to show that mining is a critical priority for the province and for the country.
Well, tonight was about celebrating the best. Women in Mining hosted its second annual Mining Gala and Awards tonight, recognizing the women shaping the future of the Canadian mining industry here in Sudbury. CTV's Madison Merrier has more from the Steelworkers Hall.
It was was out of their mining gear and into gala attire as women walked the red carpet and toasted each other's achievements.
Put it this way, the heels are already off because work boots are way more comfortable. I'm just going to say that.
According to Women in Mining hosts, only 1 in every 10 miners is a woman. But many women feel that women's involvement in the career has grown exponentially.
There would be the occasional woman who, like I say, I would look up to, and they certainly served as strong examples. But now when you walk on those sites, it's just such a different landscape.
Now I'm not the only one when I go to meetings. I've got other women that are with me, and you go into health and safety. There's more and more women all the time, and it's great to see.
Mining is one of Sudbury's largest employers, and the awards are celebrating all of the different positions in the industry.
There are positions that you don't even know exist most likely. So it's about celebrating the women in the industry, and then of course letting women know who are considering a career in this industry that there could be a role here for you.
I really hope that serves as an inspiration for them to understand what pathways are available for them, and also that there are just so many opportunities out there.
Out of the 9 awards, 5 are recognizing the new wave of women coming into the mining workforce.
I've worked in the industry a little bit with student placements, and the whole industry has been very, very male dominated. So it's very, very nice to see a lot of women come out, a lot of women show up, a lot of women in the industry, and have all that support.
The gala began last year in response to lack of accolades being given to an industry that shaped the community. And organizers want to highlight the pivotal role women play in trailblazing mining. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions, and we've got a lot of cloud cover. We're still seeing some flurries up around Kapuskasing and Timmins, 0 in Temiskaming Shores, Sudbury and Elliott Lake. Clear skies down on Manitoulin Island, and a little bit of cloud cover in Sault Ste. Marie. 5 in Parry Sound. We'll have details coming up in a moment.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Weekend's almost here, and we've got a sneak peek at what you can expect this weekend. Perhaps some showers or some flurry activity. Forecast radar. This is the system that's leaving the northeast, and we've got one that's approaching the northeast. And this is what it's going to look like by about supper time on Saturday evening, with the snow to the north and the rain to the south. We'll get into some of those numbers here momentarily. Sudbury Nickel Belt 7-day forecast. Sun and cloud to start things off tomorrow at 2. Chance of showers on Saturday at 4. 0 Sunday, chance of flurries. Then Monday, Tuesday, we've got sun and cloud, 1 and 0. Your highs, 1 on Wednesday with the cloud cover. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, mainly sunny tomorrow at 6. Another 6-degree day, but chance of showers at 60% Saturday. Turning to chance of flurries Sunday at 2. 2 degrees Monday, the odd sunny break, chance of flurries. 3 on Tuesday, sun and cloud. Wednesday, predominantly cloudy skies, and 3 degrees in the forecast. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing? Sun and cloud tomorrow, -1 to start off your weekend. Saturday, chance of showers at 60%, a high of 2. -1 on Sunday, chance of flurries. Both are pretty good bets on Saturday and Sunday. 30% chance of flurries on Monday, -1. -1 Tuesday, chance of flurries. Wednesday, the cloud cover returns with a high of only -1. In Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of flurries for tomorrow at 30%, high of 1. Chance of showers Saturday and flurries Sunday, your highs 2 and -1. -1 Monday, sun and cloud. -1 Tuesday, sun and cloud. Back to the cloud cover Wednesday at 0, slightly below normal for this time of the year. And a look now at what's happening in North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of flurries tomorrow at +1. The odd sunny break. Saturday, chance of showers 40%, a high of 3. 0 Sunday, chance of flurries. The chance at 30%, so we might get some flurries. We might not get flurries. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sun and cloud, which is pretty good. Your highs 1, and of course you've got a 0 stuck right in the middle for Tuesday, back to 1 degree on Wednesday. So Ian, so forecast for the next couple of days. Chance of flurries, chance of showers, and some cooler temperatures, but that's to be expected for mid-November. I'll turn things back to you.
Oh, bundle up now. Thanks, Rick. Well, Closet Share in Sudbury says the demand for warm winter clothing has been so great it needs volunteers to help on distribution days after some unsettling issues arose over the past weekend. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
This warehouse area at Closet Share was where 3,000 pieces of winter clothing donated by the community were given away this past Saturday.
By 8 o'clock in the morning, we had a lineup of over 40 people outside. By 10 o'clock, we had over 200 people walk through the doors. By 10:28, we ended up having to ask everybody to leave because we ran out of supplies.
Porter says there were some upsetting issues at the clothing pickup.
There was a lot of people fighting for clothing, and there was some racial slurs going on, so we basically just asked everybody to leave once all the product was gone.
The warehouse is already being restocked for another giveaway, November 22nd and 29th.
It's heartbreaking to see that people are fighting over winter clothing because they are in such need of it. So, and it's not just newcomers, it's not just the vulnerable, it is everybody in our city that is struggling right now.
Porter says she has reached out to Greater Sudbury Police to help with crowd control and any conflicts, but has been told it would have to be a paid duty officer, which the nonprofit can't afford.
It was very scary to see the need in their community. It was scary to see all the racial comments and the issues that we were faced that day with, and how many people came through the doors so quickly. We were not prepared for it. We are learning as we go, and I think that it takes an entire community to run something like this.
Porter is hopeful the community will come through and people will volunteer to help make the next distribution day a smooth and peaceful one. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A new report ranks Sudbury as the #1 housing sellers market in Canada. Zoukassis says the city claimed the top spot across the country in 2025. The company says this statistic represents a 7% increase year over year and reinforces Northern Ontario's status as one of the country's most competitive markets. The Sudbury Real Estate Board says this momentum hasn't slowed down since the pandemic. Driven by several key factors, the board's president points to a lack of affordable housing elsewhere, the rise of remote work, and seniors looking to downsize.
6 months of supply will be a balanced market, and anything under 4 months would be a seller's market. Anything over 6 months would be a buyer's market. So currently, I think we sit under 400 listings in like Sudbury, what's called Greater Sudbury, I guess, not including Espanola, Manitoulin, and the outlying a little further out, which isn't a lot. Pre-COVID, you would have seen 1,500 homes for sale at any given time, and we haven't seen anything over 600 or 700.
Buck anticipates the trend will continue well into next year. There was a gathering in Sudbury today to celebrate community and to shine a light on the work being done locally. CTV's Angela Gemmell reports.
Really wanted to learn more about Angels of Hope. The founder of Angels of Hope Against Human Trafficking speaks to someone interested in hearing more about the nonprofit. The charity was one of a dozen at the Heart of the Crater fundraiser.
It was important for me to be here and our organization to be here today to represent what the Community Foundation has been able to help us with, and that was fund our anti-human trafficking billboards across Sudbury. Without the Sudbury Community Foundation, this wouldn't have been possible.
The event was organized by the Sudbury Community Foundation, which is a public foundation and charity that helps fund other charities across the city.
Because this is our inaugural event, we have 12 different organizations that have stations set up to just be able to answer questions and talk a little bit more, give a little bit more information about their programs, and again, how it's actually impacting people.
Each station was represented by charities that have been recipients of funding from the Sudbury Community Foundation.
With the holiday season coming up, times can be a little tough for families. We also know that there's a lot of issues that are happening here in the Sudbury community, and a lot of the organizations here are doing work that impacts that directly.
We're in a special place right now as the Community Foundation to be able to be that catalyst of change in bringing people together.
Given the turnout today and the feedback La Chapelle is hearing from those in attendance, she's hopeful the event can grow in the future. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Tonight was all about raising funds for a great cause as more than 200 Sudburyans packed the Caruso Club for Cirque d'Hiver.
I'm glad to be hanging out with you guys tonight, and a huge welcome again to the Cirque d'Hiver event. We're all here.
That's Beer Country 91.7's Brian Cooper on the mic as MC, or maybe ringmaster in this case, looking dapper in his top hat. The evening included a 4-course dinner, table wine, an art auction, and circus-style synergy with more than 10 local performers showing off for the audience. It's all in support of the Art Gallery of Sudbury as it gets set to make the move downtown to Tom Davies Square. Organizers tell CTV News it was about fun, some excitement, and getting a front row seat to some of the best artistic talent in the city.
But as you walk around the event this evening, you will see there are so many people here. Members of the team from the gallery, volunteers from the community, our artists who are also helping to put a spotlight onto the work that they do, but then put really a true spotlight on the brilliant artistic talent of this community.
Looks like a lot of fun was had there by all. I think I even saw a glimpse of some juggling. There he is. The Art Gallery of Sudbury fully moved out of the Bell Mansion this past spring after occupying the house for 57 years. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. A great night for Northern hockey fans. We'll head to Windsor where the Sioux face the Spits after this. What a night for Northern hockey fans. Two of our OHL teams on the ice. Let's start down in Windsor where the Sioux Greyhounds were visiting the Spitfires, and let's just say Christopher Brown is leaving the Greyhound hero.
Brown right to the middle. Brown shoots and scores, and the Hounds come all the way back.
After the Sioux ties the game, Brown catches the Spits shorthanded during a shift change just minutes into overtime to find the back of the net and nabs the winning goal for the Hounds. The Hounds leave the Motor City with a 4-3 win over the Windsor Spitfires. They now head north for a game tomorrow night in Kitchener. Meanwhile, North Bay also on the ice tonight, taking on the Erie Otters. They come out on top with a 4-2 win. Nolan Laird tonight getting the first star of the game with 1 goal and 1 assist. Only one game over in the NOJHL. The Sudbury Cubs come out on top over the Espanola Paper Kings by a score of 6-3. Well, fans of the Timmins Rock will be able to use the main entrance to the McIntyre Arena tomorrow night, as construction of the new accessible entrance is now complete. Almost. According to the city's post on Facebook, the delivery of the railings was delayed. These ones are just temporary, and the permanent railings will be installed next month. Physician recruiters from more than 30 communities across Northern Ontario were in Sudbury today meeting with Nossum University students. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
It's the first time Northern recruiters have been under one roof.
We know that if we can build a collaborative environment for our recruiters, that as a region, we will be stronger and we will be able to flourish from a physician workforce standpoint.
The Northern Ontario Community Concierge and Connection event featured a professional development day, followed by a dinner and networking.
Often in recruitment, people think it's competition, like I'm competing with the community next door, but really we're supporting each other, because a physician that's going to be finding their home in my community might not be finding their home in a different community.
Smith says funding is a challenge when it comes to recruitment, but so is geography.
Communities are very spread out. Again, in Sioux Lookout, we're fortunate. We do have flights flying into Sioux Lookout daily from Thunder Bay or Winnipeg. I know colleagues in communities like Dryden or Hearst or Manitowoc, they might not have flights coming in. So if a locum physician is coming up, they have to fly somewhere, rent a car, and then drive 3 or 4 hours. Again, in the winter, that is not ideal.
Newbury says the number one thing that gets grads in the doors is financial incentives.
Often our new grads are graduating with significant debt, and those financial incentives matter from the initial recruitment standpoint, but we know that what retains people is actually a really fulfilling career in a place that matters to them with people who they enjoy working with.
Dr. Newbury says the hope is to make this an annual event, and that Nossum already has another event planned in October of next year to include learners from the west side of their campus in Thunder Bay. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Finally, tonight, communities across the north are gearing up for their visits from Santa. The Sudbury Parade Committee released their map of the route for the parade next weekend. This year's route is slightly longer than last year. The parade will start at St. Anne Road at Notre Dame Avenue and wind its way through the downtown. You can catch the parade Saturday, November 22nd at 5 p.m. Timmins and North Bay will get to welcome Jolly Old St. Nick first. The Timmins parade is this Saturday at 6 p.m. with North Bay's parade on Sunday at noon, and the Sioux welcomes Santa Claus November 22nd at 5:30. Who doesn't love a visit from Santa? That takes us to the end of our newscast this Thursday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.